Most neighbor disputes are over fences, noise, or parking. Mine? A woman literally sued me because my tree stole sunlight from her tomatoes. Yes, that actually happened. This is the story of how an entitled neighbor turned a healthy old tree into a battleground, dragged me into court over the sun, and ended up with the most embarrassing courtroom meltdown I've ever seen. The tree in question, when I bought my house in Suncrest Oaks, it came with a huge bonus, a gorgeous 40-year-old Japanese maple in the backyard. Its branches arched gracefully. It turned brilliant red in the fall, and it gave me the perfect amount of shade in the summer. It wasn't near any fences or wires, just quietly doing tree things. My neighbor behind me, Marcy Rowland, was new to the neighborhood, early 60s. Aggressive garden lady, multiple lawn signs that said, "Stay off the grass," and certified tomato queen out at first. We got along fine until one afternoon she stormed up to my front door. "The first accusation, your tree is killing my tomatoes." I blinked. What? Your big red tree? It's blocking my sun. My garden's failing. I looked outside. The tree was tall, yes, but far enough back that it barely touched her yard with morning shade, and only for an hour or so. I apologized, but told her I can't cut down a 40-year-old tree over a few hours of shade, especially when it's healthy. She didn't like that. The HOA gets involved. A week later, I got a letter from the HOA neighbor dispute submitted. Tree shade interference complaint received. Please trim or remove overgrown foliage causing obstruction of neighbor's natural light. I immediately responded with photos, angles, and even a shade pattern app that showed the sun still hit her garden 80% of the day. The tree was legal. Safe. Beautiful. The HOA said, "This is a private dispute. We suggest resolving it civilly." Marcy didn't like that either. She filed a lawsuit. Yes, seriously. I was served court papers claim for nuisance obstruction of agricultural efforts. She cited emotional distress, loss of harvest, and demanded $3,500 in damages, plus an injunction to cut down my tree. I laughed. Then I called my lawyer. Preparing for tree court, my attorney and I gathered a certified arborist's report showing the tree's health and safety, city ordinance proving tree preservation laws protected anything over 20 years old unless it posed danger. Photos showing the distance between our garden and the shade line. Neighbor's drone footage showing her yard in full sun most of the day. And finally, her own Facebook post boasting record tomato growth last summer. Posted after she moved in. That was our Exhibit A. The most absurd court day ever in small claims court. Marcy showed up with a binder full of laminated photos and a plastic container of dead tomato plants. She dramatically held them up and said, "This is what his tree did. Look at these shriveled victims." The judge tried not to laugh. Are you suggesting the tree is intentionally targeting your vegetables? I'm saying he knows it's causing damage and refuses to do anything. My lawyer calmly laid out our case ordinances, expert statements, and even time-lapse footage showing her garden had direct sunlight 75% of the day. Then he played her Facebook video where she proudly said, "Suncrest has the best light ever for growing tomatoes." Game over. The verdict: the judge ruled in my favor. No damages. No tree cutting. And a warning to Marcy about filing frivolous lawsuits. She tried to argue again, and the judge finally said, "Ma'am, the court does not regulate the sun." Neighborhood drama explodes. Word spread fast. Someone turned her tomato rant into a meme and posted it in the neighborhood forum. When God gives your neighbor a tree, sue him. Another neighbor replied, "Should we take the clouds to court too?" Marcy stopped gardening altogether for a while, then quietly moved her planter boxes to another part of her yard in the full sun. No apology, no acknowledgement, but also no more nonsense. The tree still stands, I still sit under that maple tree every evening. It drops crimson leaves in the fall. It shades my dog in the summer. And every time I see it, I smile knowing you literally got sued for existing. And you won.